There's a lot of debate on the forums about whether or not you swap out the fluid in the transmission. The Army runs that motor oil. People switch to Dextron. Allison now recommends this very, very expensive, completely synthetic stuff. I went and talked to some oil guys, and this is what they recommended. It meets the Allison C4 requirements completely, and it is certainly heavy duty enough to do the job. It is 10 weight, so it's a little thicker. I have that horrible downshift, you know, the one between second and first. Kabang! I was worried it'd make it worse, but then they pointed out the Dextron 3 is 10 weight, so we're going to give it a shot. This is a far less expensive transmission flush option. So I'm going to drain out whatever I can, and I'm going to refill it with this. I'm going to change the filters. I am then going to run the truck all summer. I am not going to finish flushing it. I have been told by people who I trust that the oils won't fight each other and that it'll be just fine, and then later at my convenience I can flush it again. So basically it'll just mean the additives in the oil are a little more diluted than what would be in straight oil. I'm also not going to change the internal filter. Maybe that's a bad idea. I'm just going to change the external one. It was running fine. Part of me hesitates to do anything with it because it's running fine. But after finding that bad wheel bearing, I'm changing them all. I'm changing them all so that I know exactly what's in the axles, the transmission, the transfer case. I know what's everywhere, so I don't get surprised like that again. I'm going to be draining this into a bucket I just cleaned. Oh, that was unnecessarily tight. Because once again, I will be reusing this fluid. I'll be filtering it. I won't be putting it back in the truck, but we'll use it as hydraulic fluid on some of the equipment. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you're gonna wrench on Daddy's truck? Yeah. I'll let your mama see you down here when I'm doing this. There is nothing whatsoever on that magnet. That makes me very, very happy. He's a good little boy. Oh man, you know, this stuff smells like hydraulic fluid already. He'd guess that that's actually a mixture of Dextron 3 and motor oil. Well, that magnet's not totally clean. But anyways, given the size of this thing, it's always going to be some fuzzies on the magnet. But that's in much nicer shape than, say, what I got out of the rear end.
What's this oil?
It's sure been draining a long time. I put an email into Brett, the man I bought this from, just to see if he had started the process of converting it over. It looks like motor oil, smells like Dextron 3. And if you had told me to guess at what the fluid would look like if you flushed it just once and added Dextron, that's about what I would expect. Clearly this didn't need to be done, but now I know what's in it. So, no harm, no foul, except for the $56 I paid for the oil. Now it's time to change out the filter. Now this one is a Baldwin BT230. I'm going to replace it with the Napa Gold variety. Got a rub point right there. But everything's very nice and clean, and I'm kind of hoping I'm not going to make a mess. So I'm going to find a pan first. I'm hoping cracking this will allow a big slug of fluid to run out the other end. I didn't make it without making some mess. You always want to do your best to pre-fill filters, even if it means it's going to make a little bit of a mess. Now we just wait. We should wait for that big Allison to finish draining. I'd say we're up near 4 gallons out of it so far. According to the Allison service bulletin I have, a fluid change like this, without obviously the torque converter draining, be just shy of 4 gallons at 17 quarts. Well, to me, that looks just shy of 4 gallons. So she's still dripping a little, but I think I'm just going to put the cap in it, especially since that fluid looks so nice. I contacted the man I bought this from, and he said no, he had not started the conversion to Dextron 3. So I don't know what to tell you about that. He says he just put straight 30 weight in it. I don't know what to say. Maybe that's a mixture of what was left in the torque converter before and straight 30 weight. It's thinner than 30 weight, that I can tell you for sure. It smells like transmission fluid. It smells like hydraulic oil, really, is what it smells like. Looks like motor oil, smells like hydraulic fluid. He was of the motor oil is fine opinion, so there's no consensus among any of us on this. But I'll get this stuff swapped out. I'll take her on the road, and I'll try to give a definitive, here's what my temps are at, because I know exactly what my transmission used to run at. It used to run a little hotter than the water. I used to see the tranny at 220. So I'll go climb the hill with it, come back down. I need to fill it with fuel anyways. And I'll let you know one way or another. For mine, did it help the shift? Did it drop the temps? So this is the transmission fill port. I'm going to use a big old funnel there. Do you? Well, go ahead. Go inside the back. So I'm just going to try to do this with a medium amount of mess, if I possibly can. I'm going to go ahead. I know I took almost 4 gallons out of it, so I'm going to go ahead and dump like 3.5 back in. Then I'll start it, let it idle. We'll see where we're at. According to the bulletin I have, you let it idle for a few minutes. Then with the parking brake set, you put it in reverse for 20-30 seconds. Then you put it in neutral, 20-30 seconds. You put it drive, 20-30 seconds. Then you put it back in the neutral, and you continue to let it idle. They say as much as 20 minutes. You just want it up to, I don't know, some temperature. Just get something showing on the gauges, and that's probably good enough. Then check it again, top it up, should be good to go. I'll let you know how it works. Sorry it's so rough. Camera mount's broken. Well, preliminary results, I'll let her come to a stop here. Considering I've only got 3/4 of a mile on the new fluid. Amazing. You have a hard time even feeling the upshifts anymore. Not that they were bad. Alright. Where's first gear? There was first gear right there. Drive lines didn't go kaboom. Three, 4. There's 5. It went in so slick and so easy. I'm a touch apprehensive. Why is it shifting so much better? Why was the 3-4 shift bang bang like that? One right after another, almost on top of each other. I mean, it's not undoable. I saved all my old fluid. There's downshift. You don't feel the downshift, you feel the compression. Come on, where's first gear again? Wow, there was first. Alright, here. Foot on the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5. Transmission temperature 150. Engine temperature 150. I don't know, 5, 153, something like that. I'll check back in after a few more miles. It's doing really well. It's holding a higher gear than normal. I think we're going to get up this in third. And that included pulling over halfway up to let the cars pass. Truck fan just kicked on momentarily. Yeah, we'll be in second. Truck temperature is 180. Transmission is about 195. Nope, we're not going to be in second. We're going to be in third. Fascinating. I wonder if I'm driving it harder, or if the oil made that much difference locking up the torque converter better. Usually I'm at 210, 220, and then it will back down to about 200, and kind of runs in that area there. There's the fan. You can feel the loss of power. There's where we are at the top of the pass, and cooling back down. That's transmission. Yeah, the fan just cut off. I hate it when it makes noises like this. Yeah, I'd say it made at least 15 degrees cooler. She's always run pretty cool. This thing shifted pretty flawlessly. Everything about it has always worked nice. But it is like butter now. It's always a mystery, the noises they make. They come and they go. I hate it when they come and they go. Yeah, they're holding pretty steady. Well, I can call that a success. Coming down the pass, the truck motor is cooled to 170. The transmission is exactly where it was before. So, yeah, that's about 15 degrees, maybe 20 degrees cooler. That's what she used to do. She just picked a spot, she stayed there once it warmed up. This is really quite impressive.